Good morning. Today, let us start a new chapter which is coordinate geometry. So, before discussing about coordinate geometry, let's discuss about what is geometry. Geometry is a branch of mathematics which deals with shapes. You have learned about geometry in your previous classes, isn't it? You have learned about different shapes such as quadrilaterals, triangles, circles, polygons, etc. Okay, so geometry deals with shapes on a plane surface. Remember, on a plane surface. But when we consider about coordinate geometry, it is also a study of geometry. Study of geometry, but with the help of coordinates. With the help of coordinates. Have you heard about coordinates? So using coordinates, if you make a study of geometry, it is coordinate geometry. Okay, so what is coordinate? So in this topic we are going to discuss about coordinates. For that, let's consider a street map. So you are starting from this point to there. So when you are traveling from there to there, you must have two dimensions. One is the horizontal and also the other is vertical. Okay, like if you want to travel to a place, you need the clear information how to travel it. Okay, so when we consider, when you start traveling from there, first you have to travel horizontally to the street. That is the first road. From there you have to travel through the vertical road so that you reach to your destination, isn't it? So for your travel we need a horizontal travel and also a vertical travel. Okay, that means for every movement in coordinate geometry we require two movements. We required two movements. One is a horizontal movement, the other is vertical movement. So in this lesson we discuss about the x-axis, y-axis, origin, ordered pair, quadrants, etc. Okay, origin, ordered pair or coordinates, the quadrants, how to locate a point on the Cartesian plane, define the general form of the equation of a line, etc. And it is introduced by, this Cartesian plane is introduced by a mathematician named as Rene Descartes, who is considered as the prince of mathematics, who is the father of coordinate geometry. So let's consider a playground. Okay, when a coach decides the position of a player, for example the player P, there he consider coordinate system. See, from the beginning, from the starting point of the ground, he has how he travels horizontally and vertically in such a way, that means, see, from the center point, isn't it? That is the center point. There we begin the game. From there every player is scattered and their position is scattered in such a way that with a horizontal movement and also a vertical movement. Okay, and when we consider a plane, that plane is divided into two parts with horizontal and vertical line, and the player stays in a place with a certain distance of horizontal and also vertical. Okay, so every player is placed in such a way. Okay, so a plane surface. We can divide a plane surface into four parts by drawing two lines. So let us draw a horizontal line and also a vertical line. And remember, both of these lines, horizontal and vertical, they are number lines. Have you heard about number lines? Yes, we learned about number lines in your previous classes. That means in your lower classes, which starts with 0, right of 0 positive numbers and the left of 0 negative numbers. This is the same concept, same number line we are using as horizontal and vertical. Okay, and the horizontal line is named as x-axis and the vertical line is named as y-axis. And here we use only two axes as we have a two-dimensional figure, as we are discussing about two dimensions. Okay, plural is axis. Okay, and the x and y axis meets at a common point, that's a starting point, which is known as origin. So Descartes invented the idea of placing two such lines perpendicular to each other on a plane and locating points on the plane by referring them to use these lines. Okay, the perpendicular lines may be in the direction of the given figures. Okay, and there it is mentioned as the lines are actually obtained as follows. Take two number lines calling x dash x, that is x-axis, and y-axis. Place x-axis as horizontal way, that is x dash, and vertical line as y dash with the origin O. That is a point of 0 where x and y axis meets. Okay, and combine both the lines in such a way that the two lines cross each other at their zeros. You can find out both the lines cross each other at zeros, that is known as origin or origins. The horizontal line x dash x is called the x-axis and the vertical line y dash is called the y-axis. The point where they cross each other is called the origin, denoted by O. And we have to think about the positive and negative direction. The right side of O, that is OX, and upward direction of O considered as positive. Okay, the right side of O is positive direction, and so the right side is positive and the left side is negative as per our number line. Okay, so when we consider x-axis and y-axis on a plane surface, what you can understand there? So the horizontal line is x-axis, that is x dash, and vertical line is y-axis, which is denoted by y dash. They both meet at origin and the right side of origin is positive. Okay, and you can find out the x-axis and y-axis divided the plane into four parts. How many parts? Four parts, known as quadrants. So what are quadrants? Quadrants are the four parts of a plane when the plane is divided with x-axis and y-axis, denoted by q1, q2, q3 and q4. Make sure you are naming it in anti-clockwise direction. Opposite to the clockwise direction you have to make it. Okay. Now every point must be marked. Okay, every point must be marked in this system, in this graph sheet. Okay, so when we consider the study of geometry using these x-axis, y-axis and all, it is considered as coordinate geometry. So in Q1, when we consider Q1, that is quadrant 1, you can see there x-axis is positive and y-axis is also positive. And in Q2, you see in Q2, x-axis is negative and y-axis is positive. And in Q3, you see both x and y-axis both are negatives. And in Q4, what do you identify? X is positive and y is negative, isn't it? Now, how do you plot a point? In a plane geometry, that means in our geometry, normal geometry, it's very simple for us to mark a point. Do you know what is a point? A point is a mark which is formed with a sharp edge. So in a plane geometry, it's very simple. Just mark a point anywhere on the plane surface, and there we don't have any constraint. But when we mark a point in coordinate geometry, we must think about the position. That means we have to take care of the horizontal distance and also the vertical distance, like how we plotted the position in our first example. Okay, so a point in coordinate geometry must have two values. It has to satisfy two values. One is x value and the other one is y value. It's denoted with, in a simple bracket, we have to write both the values, which is named as an ordered pair. Have you heard about ordered pair? Okay, so next we'll discuss about what is an ordered pair. An ordered pair. So have you heard about ordered pair before? No. Okay, so an ordered pair consists of two terms, say A and B, and when it comes in coordinate system, it will be x and y. Okay, in that first element, first term is named as first coordinate or x coordinate, first coordinate or x coordinate, and the second element is considered as second coordinate or y coordinate. And the first term, that is x coordinate or first coordinate, is also named as abscissa, and the second term is also named as an ordinate. Okay, so when we consider an ordered pair 2 3, here we get 2 is abscissa, which is the x coordinate, and 3 is the y coordinate, which is ordinate. Okay, now what is a Cartesian plane? See, these all words like Cartesian plane or Cartesian system, everything is based on René Descartes. To honor René Descartes, it was named. So a Cartesian plane consists of a plane which is divided into four parts using x-axis and y-axis, They meet at the origin, and so the four quadrants formed, which are Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. Okay, so a plane which consists of all these details are named as a Cartesian plane. Okay, so let us consider a Cartesian plane with horizontal line which is x-axis, x dash, and vertical line y dash. When we consider the quadrant 1, its x coordinate is positive and the y coordinate is also positive. So quadrant 1 gives you an ordered pair with both x and y are positives. And what about quadrant 2? Yes, it has x coordinate negative because left side of 0 and y coordinate positive. That means quadrant 2 consists of x negative and y positive. Quadrant 3 has x negative and y negative. X negative and y negative. And quadrant 4, you can find out what is quadrant 4, in which x is positive and y is negative. Okay, so if you find a point -2, 3, in which quadrant it belongs? In which quadrant it is? Yes, it is in second quadrant. And -5, -8, in which quadrant does it belong? Yes, quadrant 3. So tell me 5 minus 9. In which quadrant does it belong? 5 minus 9. X is positive and y is negative. So in which quadrant does it belong? Just to find out. Yes, it is in quadrant 4. So this system consists of a coordinate plane is named as a coordinate system or Cartesian system, and the name Cartesian has to honor the mathematician Rene Descartes, who is considered as the prince of mathematics. Okay, now let's do an example question. You can find 4 points are mentioned. We have to write its corresponding ordered pair, means position. The point B is in first quadrant, so you can identify both are positives, and x is 4 and y is 3. You can find out it. The horizontal distance is 4 and the vertical distance is 3. And when we consider the point M, it's clearly in quadrant 2, and x is -3 and y is 4. And next point is in quadrant 3 with x distance is -5 and y is -4. And it is your turn to find the ordered pair for the next question.